It's that time of the year with our first Steam Next Fest event of 2025, where demos abound and sales prevail. Hello everybody, this is Havoc, and Steam Next Fest is always the best opportunity to get a taste of games you're looking forward to or didn't even know existed and try out their demo. As a fan of a wide range of strategy and simulation games, this Next Fest is already looking fantastic. But before we begin, if you enjoy these types of videos, be sure to let me know by giving the video a like, subbing to the channel, and leaving a comment down below. This pushes a video into the YouTube algorithm, so get this video in front of the YouTube gods by engaging with it in any way you see fit. Now, let's take a look at 12 strategy, simulation, and roguelike demos you can play right now during Next Fest. Beginning with He Is Coming. Now, I must quickly mention that I am associated with Hooded Horse, the publisher of He Is Coming. However, I'm in no way being incentivized to cover the game, it's just hecking fun. He Is Coming is an extremely retro-style turn-based strategy game where you are the only person standing between the returned Demon King and a world domination. Every 3 days, you'll fight one of his minion bosses, with the advantage being that you can literally see everything about it, its stats, attack style, etc., allowing you to spend those 3 days exploring the world around you to pick up powerful weapons and equipment to adapt your playstyle in the coming beast. While it seems quite basic at its core, He Is Coming offers a ton of replayability as you unlock more weapons and items at the conclusion of every run, giving you more powerful builds to dive further into the game. This Next Fest demo also offers a very unique mode, Kingmaker, with async multiplayer. Playing this mode, instead of creature bosses, you'll actually fight other players' builds that have successfully made it through their own Kingmaker mode, pulling their name and stats from a database. This means there is a slight likelihood you may bump into an HForHavoc boss. Think you'll win? It's time to find out. Next up, one of my most anticipated demos is Solasta II, the sequel to the fantastic Solasta Crown of the Magister. For you tabletop RPG fans, this one is for you. Featuring the SRD 5e rule set, you'll be exploring the lands of Neokos to seek out a threat of the enigmatic Shadwin, battling the ultimate source of corruption in the land. In classic tabletop action, you'll need to prepare your spells before battle, unlock new techniques, and upgrade each member as they gain experience, setting up potential ambushes and strategize for those ultimate combos, all while praying for the Nat 20 or against the dread Nat 1. Unlike its predecessor, however, Solasta II will feature free roam throughout the lands of Neokos, meaning you can stick to the main roads or explore into the wilderness. The choice is ultimately yours. But just remember, you may make the choices, but the dice decide your destiny. Moving along, we have Machine Mind. After a nuclear war spurned on by a mysterious virus that wiped out most of humanity, Earth is a wasteland, and most of what remains of humanity finds refuge at an orbital station. With your consciousness contained in a special module after your ship has crashed, you'll need to scavenge the wasteland using rovers and upgrading your vehicles and base to reconnect with the orbital space station above. Machine Mind combines base building with exploration, mixed in with real-time tactics and a point-and-shoot combat format. What starts out as a singular vehicle, very much in desperate survival, will eventually transform into upgrades that add more storage to hold more scraps and parts, better guns to take on the wasteland rabble, and more ways to collect better and better materials to evolve your base. Simple base management turns into automation, allowing you to explore deeper and discover the secrets of what this ruined world has to offer. If any of this tickles your fancy, I highly recommend checking this demo out. Moving into simulation territory, let's take a look at City Tales Medieval Era. Built along a similar ideology of Foundation, in this medieval city builder, you'll forsake the grid structure in favor of a more organic system of growth through the use of a district drafting tool. Life within those districts will naturally evolve as demands are met, changing housing types and city infrastructure, which will in turn shape how you approach your economy, as each district will take its own path. That's not all this game has to offer though. You don't have to build this city on your own, as you'll have advisors to help you grow, each with their own strengths that you as a leader can utilize to increase key production cycles, unlocking bonuses for buildings, and training for future helpers to eventually take their place. This is definitely a chill but rewarding city builder that you should take a look at. If you're wanting a more challenging experience this Next Fest, look no further than Rise of Industry 2. The sequel to Rise of Industry from 2019, Rise of Industry 2 looks to take things a bit more globally and vastly more industrially than the first. Set in 1980s USA, it's your goal to take advantage of every resource on the map to make max profits across several different production lines, figuring out the logistics of taking raw materials, refining them into any number of end products, and shipping them across the world to rake in that sweet money. Rise of Industry 2 seems to lean heavily on the idea of complexes, that is, defined sections of the map that can only be dedicated to certain resources and products. Thus, logistics become an even larger part of the puzzle as you figure out the best methods to extract and refine goods and get them to their buyers. Another evolution in the game is the idea of importing and signing contracts, meaning it doesn't seem like you have to have the raw resources on your map to utilize them. We also have more logistical options to move products, such as trains and airports, and vastly more products to produce as well. This is an industrial tycoon's dream, so go give this one a go if that's what you're after. Leading more onto the simulation side of things, we have Architect Life, a house design simulator. If you've ever wanted to be an architect, but didn't want to do several years of studying and come out with crippling debt, this is your game 100%. In this game, you are quite literally building a house from the ground up. A career mode that sees you starting your own firm, constructing houses under a budget, and even seeing construction from start to finish just like a real architect. It's a bit more intense than that though, as an architect's direction is everything, and designing a house is no simple task. You'll need to start with wall layout, rooms, doors, windows, and anything else the client needs at its most basic level. Next, you'll need to add the personal interior touches, floor and wall textures, roof materials, and even heating and air systems to make things the most comfortable. Then, you'll have to consider the outdoors with landscaping or pools, detached garages, whatever would wow the client right off the bat. Feeling really confident, decorate the entire house with furniture and every item you think a home needs, down to the colors of the cushions on the couch. Then it's on to construction, where you'll need to pick the best contractor with the budget you have left to get everything finished. This is a test of creativity without a doubt, and I'm all here for it, and you should be too. If you're more into cleanup rather than construction, this next game is perfect with Roadcraft. Roadcraft is set in the Mud Runner SnowRunner universe, but is not part of the franchise, at least not by the title. In Roadcraft, you lead a company that specializes in restoring areas devastated by natural disasters, and rather than just dropping off materials through some rough terrain, you will be operating some seriously heavy machinery to be clearing disaster areas, laying down roads, rebuilding bridges, and even deploying resource convoys to bring in more construction material. Not only that, but Roadcraft will bring in up to 4-player co-op, meaning you can do all of this with friends, coordinating several parts of the project to happen at once and streamlining production along the way. Several creators got a hands-on preview of the game before nextfest launch, and I have to say it looks fantastic, and I can't wait to get my hands on it to play. The last simulation game we'll take a look at is Do No Harm. A large step away from the previous sim games on the list, Do No Harm is a Lovecraftian medical simulation game that sees you as the only doctor in a town that is experiencing some seriously disturbing ailments. In what could be described as a Papers, Please type game, you'll need to diagnose patients based on the symptoms that they are displaying, hoping that you not only prioritize them correctly, but providing them with the right remedy to make them better. If that were the end of it, it might seem a bit simple. However, nightmarish entities are warping your reality at any point while you play, potentially blocking you from being able to interact with certain items, causing hallucinations, and deceiving you about treatment results. All of these will impact your sanity, making things more and more difficult as the days wear on. Can you, and your patients, survive 30 days under the pressure? You should find out for sure by playing this demo. These last 4 demos are all roguelites or roguelikes, so let's get to it with Nordhold. Nordhold is an intriguing blend of roguelite, city builder, turn-based strategy, and tower defense, which may seem overwhelming at first, but from what I've seen, actually works decently well. In this one, you'll build up your tower defenses to protect the city, with the buildings inside that city generating the resources and upgrades needed to enhance your towers. This is definitely a step further than other tower defense games, and adds a great layer of strategy to the genre, as it's not just about resources made from kills as a tradition. On top of that, your hero has the capacity to forge their own spells and generate synergies and combos that can help you on both fronts, providing bonuses in the town while providing upgrades and buffs to your tower. While I haven't checked this one out yet, it definitely feels right up my alley, and I think it'll tickle the fancy of many strategy tower defense players during nextfest. Next up, and our most bizarre game on the list, the Deadly Path. This one has had a couple of sponsored segments on the channel, and considering that I only do sponsored games for ones that I really enjoy, it says a lot right off the bat. But man, is this one strange game. You are a custodian in charge of bringing the gods of dread to ascendancy, but your life is on the line in the process. You'll need to balance expansion with resource management to ensure the god you're working with has a steady supply of bones, meat, and gold to consume, or you're dead. As you expand in this dark underworld, you'll unlock upgrades, new buildings, and buffs that will help you along the way, finding methods that can unlock new ages to take you further along the path of ascendance. While simple in explanation, there are so many paths of optimization and strategy that can make or break you, and with the tiles you unlock being randomized, there's no telling what good or bad luck streaks you may uncover, making resource management all the more crucial. This game is weird, but I love it. Its cards are grotesque, but intriguing, and its gameplay is brutal, but addicting. I definitely recommend going after this demo, which features a new god for you to play with its own challenges and uniqueness. Our next game is As We Descend. This roguelike deck builder is a fantastic premise. The last city of humanity needs to reach the core of the planet in order to survive, but ascending to deeper and deeper depths means increasingly challenging obstacles, both on the apocalyptic battlefield and within the city itself. You'll need to recruit squads of units using scavenge technology, each with its own set of cards that can be added to, upgraded, or removed entirely. Deploy these units in the right composition to tailor your deck against each battle encounter. Battles are not just about strength, but wit, outsmarting titanic enemies to dodge attacks and craft powerful combination attacks of your own. Inside the city, you'll have to familiarize yourself with its citizens to find allies and survive against its feudal politics, rolling the dice to convince people to follow your cause. You have limited time and resources to prepare for the next battle, so use it wisely. And let's not forget, you'll need to scavenge resources along the way to find new upgrades that will allow you to break through to the core. This combination of roguelike and deck builder is right up my alley, and you should definitely give it a go too. Our last but in no way least game in this list, drop Duchy. Imagine Tetris, but with immensely more strategy involved, with some roguelite elements integrated into it as well. Blending roguelite, resource management, and puzzle gameplay, you'll be setting up blocks that will complete lines that farm resources, mixing in production buildings like farms to turn plains into farmland for wheat, woodcutters to level forests for wood, and soldiers for eventual combat down the line. Multiple paths exist for you to progress through during a single run, and you'll have to pick which path suits you based on the buildings you've unlocked. As you continue through these runs, you'll unlock resources that will allow you to then unlock more buildings to start with, upgrades to buildings you already have, and other advantageous methods that will help you progress further and further. Eventually, you'll face combat rounds, which function exactly as regular rounds, but with enemy cards built into your deck. You'll have to be strategic enough to minimize the enemy's growth while also maximizing the growth of your own army in order to be successful. At the end of the round, these units will fight each other, but with different types of units, each with their own strengths against the others, it's not so cut and dry, meaning placements of units is all the more paramount. I've never been a huge Tetris fan, but man, does Drop Duchy look fantastic, and one that I cannot wait to try out during nextfest. There are too many nextfest games to cover, but hopefully the games provided in this video give you plenty of food for thought and plenty of demo gameplay to satiate your week of gaming. If you found other demos you want people to know about, I'd love for you to leave a comment in the comment section to help people have a great nextfest week. And if you enjoyed the video, feel free to give the video a like and subscribe as well. Thank you so much for watching. This is Havoc, and I will see you in the next one.